Michaela, tonight, great job. What was Texas giving you that you were just able to do what you did out there tonight, being that they were supposed to be a top scoring defense in the SEC, but you took it to them?
Honestly, I'd say my teammates, like, when they're going, it's hard to stop just one person individually. And I think the way we started the game, exactly how we started the game last game, is just so hard because you can't help off Aubrey, you can't help off Justine, you can't help off Jack, you can't help off Sasha because, I mean, there's free buckets there. So I think my teammates definitely opened it up for me today.
Eli, go ahead.
Right before halftime, I think, Aubrey, you had a drive and you put it up off the glass and it looked just like another player in here. Is that shot kind of like a hook shot? You know what I'm talking about?
Maybe, I don't know. The game kind of blanks.
From Michaela,
I mean, how can you not be? I had to watch her every day.
It's in her bag.
I guess it just naturally happens.
She had it in her bag.
Yeah,
She's just a scorer. She's a scorer.
You know the shot clock.
Yeah, the scoop. You know what it is.
I'll watch it
Oh,
back.
yeah, watch it back. Okay.
She's a trick shot kind of kid. I'm telling y'all that.
Questions from Coach Shea after just
I want them to get to bed, yeah.
Yep. Elena.
She wants to get the ball.
I set myself up. I set myself up.
Ask her questions about Mima today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can ask some more.
They
Yeah.
need me to ask me more, yeah.
Aubrey, how big was this week for you guys just as a unit being able to pick up 2 top 10 wins?
I mean, both games this week were definitely team wins. I mean, we communicated and we stayed connected the whole time, even if there was like a little run for the other team. But I think that's what really pushes us over the edge in every win, when we really stay together. But I mean, that's just our standards. So as long as we stick to them, that's the results we get.
Rhea.
Michaela, your student section tonight was huge. Your student section on Monday was huge. Having been here 2 years, can you maybe speak to how the student support has increased and what that means to you?
Yeah. I would say it is a complete, change. I think last year we were all waiting for students to show up and show out. We would go to the men's game and saw them storm the court when they beat Tennessee, and we kind of were hoping for the same when we played Tennessee, and we had a buzzer beater there too, but we didn't really get a storm the court moment. So I think seeing the students come out now, I mean, it just adds fuel to the fire for us. It's just like seeing the school proud of us. We want to do good for them. I mean, we're trying to give them goodies so they show up as well. So it's just a great thing. And I mean, being able to see our classmates in the stands and know, we're also go to school with them as well. It's just very special. So.
Andrew.
All right, so we did ask Coach.
I got you, yeah.
I want to hear your perspective, though.
Okay.
Where's Mima come from?
Mima comes from Coach Ralph's early bedtime. That's what
I've
I
had
call.
enough time. They need to get.
This right here be my Mima on the night games, especially Oklahoma. She had to get to bed, so that was the main thing.
All right, thank you. Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Eli.
What's the policy? I mean, this is another huge ranked win. What's the policy talking about the postseason, talking about March in the locker room? Is that something that you all just, you go game to game? I know you've said that, Coach. Or what is the kind of team philosophy on that?
I mean, it's building momentum for sure, but we know we can't look into March because that's how you lose games in February. And that's the main thing. We also still have to get through SEC tournament, finish our regular conference to be able to play in March and hopefully host here at Vanderbilt. So every day we show up, we're just focused on the next game. Yes, we have goals to be able to play in March, but it doesn't matter unless we focus on our next game and we win that game and prove to the country why Vanderbilt should host.
Aria.
Yeah, Michaela, how much do you relish facing off with other star players in the SEC, whether it's someone like Madison Booker, Flau J. Johnson, those kind of players?
Yeah, I mean, it's a joy. I think being able to play with some of them this summer as well and get to know them being on the same team was also fun. So, I mean, I always love competition, so I'm never going to back down, and it's full support on and off the court for them as well. So.
Janelle.
Michaela, this is your 4th game with 30.
Oh, is it? Okay. Okay.
Do you let yourself kind of relish in it? I mean, how much do you let yourself celebrate without, getting a little too high?
Yeah, I mean, I'll celebrate a little bit, but I'm mostly proud of my teammates. I can't do anything without them, and I'm just doing what they need me to do, whether that's score the ball, and I guess right now it's scoring the ball. And I'm just going to continue to be happy for them as well because they're doing amazing things. Like Aubrey, I mean, I feel like she's flew under the radar this whole season, but finally she's getting recognition like she deserves, and that's with other people on our team as well. So I'm going to be excited, but I'm also excited for them as well.
Last couple of questions. We're going to go to Elena and then Andrew. Elena.
I mean, both of you guys played 40 minutes tonight. I guess, Aubrey, do you guys get tired in these kind of games? Are you all feeding off the energy, or just kind of what's your mindset to push through these moments, even if they get a little bit difficult?
I mean, I don't know. I don't really think about really getting tired. I mean, I do think there's definitely conditioning to it, but again, it is a mindset, I feel like, and you never see her get down. I mean, to do the same for her, I don't want her to see that I'm tired either, and just use that as motivation, I guess.
Andrew?
Y'all win the games, we make the narratives, right? Does it feel like, though, there is something building within this program with each passing win like this? You know, the goal when you came down to Vanderbilt to help bring this program back to prominence. When you walk off the floor, you have those moments. Does that sink in? That feeling that, okay, that build, that's what this payoff is right here.
For sure, and I think being able to have alumni at our games and being able to come in the locker room and celebrate with us afterwards, that just definitely builds to it because they were where we want to go. And seeing their support is amazing, and just them being able to support us as we're on the same journey and we have the same goals as them, we definitely get excited about it, I would say.
All right, thank you both.
All right, Mima, sorry. Just 1% dressed. Got you. Regular or diet? Got you. Yes. Secret's out, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, listen. Yeah, I told her like I was tired, and then I got home after the game on Monday, and I was like this until 2 a.m. because I was so excited. And then my daughter got up, and that was the end of that. So maybe I'll sleep when my daughter's a teenager. I don't know.
Coach Ralph, if you would, a statement, please.
Yes. Broken record time. Proud of my team. Also, the answer to your question that you asked the kids, this is what we came here to do. So I love that we're starting to get some momentum in terms of recognition, and this room is full, which is amazing to see. Thank you for being here. But it's because of them. And they came here to do the same thing, and I'm not surprised at the result. I'm not surprised at the season. We knew exactly what we wanted to do, and every day we stick to the process of what that is. Every day we make the deposits. We make the deposits. We're consistent in how we work, right? And then we're diligent in how hard we work. And we talk about those things. We don't look ahead to March. March isn't here. It's February. We look ahead to Friday, tomorrow, and then Saturday, and the road trip, and then Sunday, right? We just one day at a time. And if you prepare that way, it doesn't matter who you come across or what time of year. Your team is going to be ready, and they're going to be focused on doing what it takes to win. And that's it. I also will say that, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to get the question today, but prove me wrong that that's not the SEC Player of the Year and the National Player of the Year, and this one isn't the Freshman of the Year. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Because every single night, they show up and they do exactly what our team needs to do for them to win. Regardless of the narrative, regardless of the opponent, regardless of all the things that they can't control. So that should be the answer to the question. They are, period. Just based on their performance and what they mean to our team.
Questions? Elena?
Yeah, I mean, outside of those two, you had a bunch of different contributions tonight, but how important were Jackalenga and Aaliyah Del Rosario?
Yeah, I was so happy for Jackalenga today. I mean, this is tough, right? You spend a lot of time at a program, and then you come to another one, and we have a different style of play. Jackalenga, especially over the last couple of weeks, has been so locked in different ways, and she's really started to play more freely. I think it takes time. It takes time to play how we play. It takes time to understand. It takes time to build confidence. That kid can be playing better at a better time, right? And the same could be said for all the other players on our team that are making contributions. You guys don't get to see it every day because you're not at practice. But they get lots of reps in practice. There's lots of confidence that they're building in the things that they're doing, whether they're playing on a black team or on the white team or on the gold team, and that's like different ways that we organize practice. But they lift each other up. They know exactly what their role is on the team, and when their number is called, they're ready, because that's what they've been doing in practice. And everybody knows what that is. So depending on the day, the night, foul trouble, not, the game plan, then they know this is what I have to do to come in and help the team win. And I can say the same about our bench, the people that don't play. I don't know if you guys noticed our bench today, but the energy was crazy. And then when I come on, I got to tell them to be quiet because they're talking about adjustments. I'm like, wait a minute, let me let me talk, okay? But they're all right. They're paying attention and they're locked in. I have a player-led team. It's fun. It's a joy to coach them. I love coming every single day, and I know that they're going to be ready to get better. Right now, we're having the time of our lives.
Aubrey?
Yeah, you had Jackalenga as the primary defender on Madison Booker. You know, how good of a job did she do with that, and do you think the familiarity helped her at all there?
I think the familiarity just in general helped her. And honestly, for most of the game, we were in zone, and I think Jackalenga just wanted to guard her. Because she would run up, and we guard the ball screen a certain way in the zone, and Jackalenga is one of our guards, and she would just come up and take it. And I respect that. I respect that. You know, that's what a tough kid does, and Jackalenga is that. But I thought she did a really good job on her. And Madison Booker's a great player. They're a really good team, and especially down the stretch, she made a tough game. I mean, she really made some tough shots. You could tell the kind of competitor she is. But I was proud of how we defended her in big moments, and she got different looks, but Jack did a great job.
Andrew? We were talking about this in the press box about players like Michaela and some of the weird idiosyncrasies of like why certain players get elevated in the national scene. And like with Caitlin, for instance, people underestimate the fact that Iowa is a massive women's basketball state and has been since way before Title IX. Is there a Vanderbilt stigma that has to be overcome here for the fact that this program hasn't been at the top of the SEC in the last couple of years, and she's maybe not a hometown kid in the way someone like Juju at USC is? How do you as a coach prime all of us for the narrative of this is the player of the year, don't worry about what school she's representing, where she's from, or how she's doing it, the play on the floor is what's speaking for itself? How do you...
Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Why is the narrative opposite of that? Why is it that she's not a hometown girl? Or Vanderbilt was a powerhouse. That's why I came here, because they were, and I knew we could do it again. So why isn't the narrative she's the best player in the country because of all the good things that she's doing? Vanderbilt is real because look at what they're doing right now. Why isn't that the narrative? I don't understand why it's not, so it's hard for me to answer that question. Vanderbilt was one of the teams, I mean, these guys are great at stats, but they went to like 30 straight NCAA tournaments, Sweet 16s, Elite 8s, Final Four. Jim Foster just texted me. We have a group of alumni that come here. It wasn't that long ago. So I honestly don't understand what that narrative is, but I know what it's not now. It's not that. And so I don't care what, I don't. I think, you know, I like that you guys ask her questions, so whatever is written is written. We don't control that. But what we do control is how we show up and perform every night. And so I would love for that to be the story. Because every single night, this kid shows up and puts the country on notice. Every night. And if you came to every practice, she does the same thing to our practice players. Every day. That is just who she is, and it's only a matter of time. So we focus on what we can control, and then hopefully you guys will take it from there.
Julian?
I know you mentioned you're not looking ahead to March, but you've got to recognize what this week has meant for the resume builder, I would assume, right? Especially against that team who was kind of fighting with you guys for seeding purposes down that line.
Yeah, I think, you know, as a coach, as a basketball person, I have this one over here. He's all in like the numbers and the analytics. I just focus on coaching my team. So we understand what's possible, but again, that's been the goal. That's how we built our schedule, because we believed that it was possible. Now we just have to do our jobs. So one day at a time, we put ourselves in position. That's great, but I'm not talking to my team about it because it doesn't matter. We still have 4 games left in the regular season and then the SEC tournament. And we have goals there before we even get to March. We have goals. We have things we want to accomplish. And so we just one day at a time. And if we take care of that, then we'll take care of what happens in March.
Charles?
Coach, can you speak to the evolution of the toughness factor of your team? Just from a few weeks back, you had talked about them needing to be more tougher in the mindset and everything. And then I sat here tonight and hear the opposing coach say that his team was just straight up out tough and had no heart. How does that make you feel as a coach of your team to see that come together in such a short amount of time?
It's a good feeling to know that they respond, right? That they are willing to look at themselves, and we are willing as a staff to say, hey, we've got to make some changes, right? What are the things that we need to work on and get better at, and let's get to work there. And let's do this together. And they respond. They respond. So every day we've gotten better at that, and it's been really consistent. So we talk a lot about how we work. We've got to work every single day. We've got to show up and do certain things. And then we have to have the constant effort to have relentless improvement. It's got to be relentless, and we've got to improve. And we're not going to be perfect. I would love that, but we're not going to be. But every day we show up on the court, we got to get better at some of the gaps that we know we have, and let's make sure we're honest about those. And then we have a plan for it, right? So that's why I take it one day at a time. It's fun as a coach because when you have a team that responds that way, and you have the culture that we have right now, that's the difference, I think, between being good, average to good, and great to elite. My kids understand that. That locker room, they know before I have to come in there and tell them. So we have a winning culture. We have a championship culture in our locker room, in practice, on the bus, on the road. We have it. And so now what that turns us into is a championship team, a championship caliber team. Because without that, you can't get to where you need to go. And the reason I know that is because I've been there. And so that's what's different about the group that I have now. There's always going to be something to work on. They know it, we know it, and we get to work.
Junior.
Coach Vince said he had a scouting coach spend 2 weeks on your team, but you would never know it. What does it say about a team that no matter how much you prepare for, it just never seems to be enough?
I mean, that's a really cool statement to hear from him. And he has some nice things to say. I think, obviously he's done great things as a coach, and they're a really tough team. I think for me, I have always focused on our team. So we've worked really hard starting in the summer to play a style of basketball that is hard to scout. So we certainly have plays. You have to run plays. You have things that you want to get to at certain times in the game. But I'm trying to get them to understand how to play basketball, because people are going to scout. There's really good coaches and really good teams are going to scout every play you have. They're going to scout every player on your team. I want my best players to be unguardable. And then I want us, when they blow up our plays, to just be able to play basketball. And I think that we're getting really good at that. Because for a majority of that game, we didn't run a whole lot of plays. We just played basketball. And the more we continue to work on that, the more they do it in big moments like today, the more confidence we'll have, the harder we'll be able to prepare for down the stretch.
Coach, Shamika Holtzball was on campus yesterday for the Murray lecture. Did she get the chance to talk to her players?
We weren't able to make it work. She's very busy and very popular, and so are we. But I know that we had a couple players on her, or had a player on her panel. I had a bunch of staff members that went and said that she did a great job, and obviously somebody that we respect a ton. If I remember correctly, she was the only player that bowed me out when I was playing, and I was a freshman, and she took it right to my ass. But she had a great career, and it's always fun to have players like that who've been part of women's basketball and building it to where it is now on our campus and talking to our student athletes and our student body.
As a coach, I know you want your team to be playing its best basketball in February and March. Do you feel like they're doing that right now, or do you feel like there's more you can get out of them?
There's always more, but we're getting closer. There's always more.
Andrew? Just from an outsider's perspective, seeing Aubrey kind of come into her own, even just from the perspective of talking to us, the media, right? But when she's on the floor, she's putting the reigning SEC Player of the Year on complete skates in front of thousands of people. I mean, is there a player comparison you can think of for her, of someone that presents that softly but is just an absolute assassin when they feel the confidence to get out and play like that?
It's always a tough question. One of my staff members said the exact same thing, and they said it was in honor of the Winter Olympics. I think Aubrey is Aubrey, and it's really cool to watch what she's been able to do, having been so under-recruited, but not by us, right? But, she is just who she is. And she does remind me of some players that I've coached. And you talked about her demeanor. I showed her some film of Sue Bird. They're different. They're not the same player. I'm not comparing them. But the mentality and just, half the time what makes her so good is she's just in the clouds. She's just playing basketball. And she's just out there trying to ball and trying to win. And both of them just want to win. You ask questions about points and this and that, and they're like, whatever, we just want to win. And they don't want to come off the court, and they want to play 40 minutes. So what's better than to coach kids like that,
Just as a quick follow, you ever text Carla Berube, UConn to UConn, and be like, thanks for that?
Every now and then, yes. We definitely have a little chat going. Yeah.
Anything else? Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you all being here. Thank you.